And also may I please kindly invite our panelists, Professor Muhammed Farmer, Chancellor, European University of Business UK, Dr. Zehra Güngör, IPRA 2014 World President and President Stage PR Turkey, Lady Olga Maitland, Chairman, Algeria British Business Council UK, and Professor Mekki Shibly, former Vice Chancellor of Omdurman Ahlia University, Strategic and Economic Advisor, Bafarat Holding Company. I've just been informed Dr. İbrahim Kalın will not be able to attend, so the message will be passed to you by Mr. Egemen Bağış.
Çok değerli konuklar, bu toplantının organizasyonunda emeklerini ve çabalarını hiçbir zaman unutmayacağımız çok sevgili dostum, Cumhurbaşkanı Genel Sekreter Yardımcısı ve Cumhurbaşkanımızın sözcüsü Doktor İbrahim Kalın Bey bugün bizlerle olmayı çok arzu ediyordu. Ama bugün Milli Güvenlik Kurulu toplantısı ve onun hazırlıkları araya girince kendisi kısa bir mesaj gönderdi. Arkadaşımın mesajını sizlerle paylaşmak istiyorum. Bir yandan da panelistlerimizi buraya davet edelim. Hemen mesajın akabinde de bir sonraki Batı'nın gelişen ülkelere tavrı konusunu beraber tartışacağımız panelistleri de sahneye çağıralım. İbrahim Kalın Bey'in mesajı: kıymetli katılımcılar, Uluslararası İşbirliği Platformu'nun bu yıl 7.'sini düzenlediği Boğaziçi Ekonomi Zirvesi'nin kıymetli misafirleri, öncelikle hepinizi ülkemiz ve milletimiz adına saygıyla selamlıyor. Medeniyetlerin kadim buluşma noktası olan güzel şehrimiz İstanbul'a hoş geldiniz diyorum. Zirveye yoğun programımdan dolayı katılamadığım için üzgün olduğumuzu belirtmek ve başta Sayın Cengiz Özgencil olmak üzere Uluslararası İşbirliği Platformu'na ekonomi ve siyaset dünyasının önemli katkılarına olacağına inandığım bu zirveyi tertip ettikleri için teşekkür etmek istiyorum. Dünyamız özellikle siyasi, ekonomik ve toplumsal konularda zor bir süreçten geçiyor. İç savaşlar, terör, göç krizi, eğitimsizlik, sosyoekonomik eşitsizlikler, ırkçılık ve ayrımcılık her gün yüzlerce can almakta ve insanlık için daha derin sorunlara yol açmakta. 7. Boğaziçi Zirvesi'nin böylesine kritik bir dönemde bu problemlere çözüm önerileri getirmede insanlığa önemli bir katkı sunacağına inanıyorum. Dünyanın karşı karşıya kaldığı problemlerin temelinde maalesef adaletsizlik yatıyor. İnsanlık bugün ekonomik adaletsizliğin, refah dağılımındaki eşitsizliğin, insan hakları konusunda oluşan derin uçurumun sebep olduğu problemlerle boğuşuyor. Bu problemlerin çözümü için ise sorunların temelinin iyi tespit edilmesinin önemli olduğuna inanıyorum. Geçmişte haksız muamelelere maruz kalmış ülkelerin paylaştığı acı mirasın en önemli boyutu ekonomik alanda görülmektedir. Örneğin bugün dünya nüfusunun sadece %7'sini teşkil eden Avrupa Birliği, dünyadaki toplam gayri safi yurt içi hasılanın neredeyse 1/4'üne sahipken, Afrika kıtası dünya nüfusunun %15'ini oluşturduğu halde toplam gayri safi yurt içi hasılanın yalnızca %3'üne sahip durumda. Bu eşitsizliğe Asya kıtasını ve bilhassa tek başına İslam dünyasını da örnek gösterebiliriz. Zengin ile fakir arasındaki uçurum her gün derinleşmekte ve yeni sosyal ve siyasi sorunların doğmasına neden olmaktadır. Dünya genelinde görülen bu eşitsizliğin ve sebep olduğu nefretin derinleşmesini önlemek ve iletişim kanallarını tekrar açabilmek için hepimize önemli görevler düşüyor. Zengin doğal kaynaklara sahip olan İslam dünyasında eğitim, yönetişim, kentsel gelişim, yoksulluğu azaltıcı projeler ve gençler ile kadınların rolünü güçlendirecek çalışmalara öncelik vermemiz gerekiyor. Maalesef bugün bu alanlara yatırım yapan Müslüman ülkelerin sayısı bir elin parmaklarını geçmemektedir. İslam coğrafyasının yeniden barış, adalet, iman, akıl ve erdemle anılmasının yolu bu adımların gecikmeden atılmasıdır. Biz Türkiye olarak gerek insani politikalarımız ve kalkınma yardımlarımız, gerekse öncülük ettiğimiz Medeniyetler İttifakı gibi küresel girişimlerimiz ile dünyayı tüm insanlık için daha yaşanabilir ve adil hale getirebilmek için yoğun çaba sarf ediyoruz. Başta 15 Temmuz'da yaşadığımız hain darbe girişimi olmak üzere birçok hadisenin Türkiye'nin ekonomik ve siyasi yapısını, dolayısıyla küresel insani ve kalkınma politikalarını da sekteye uğrayacağını, zayıflayacağını düşünenlerin aksine Türkiye 15 Temmuz sonrası daha güçlü ve azimli bir şekilde bu çabalarına hız kesmeden devam etmektedir. Gayri safi yurt içi hasılasına oranla dünyanın en büyük donör ülkesi konumunda olan Türkiye'nin bu çabaları görmezden gelinmemeli, daha da önemlisi uluslararası toplumdan daha fazla destek görmelidir. Türkiye gibi insani politikalarını sadece konjonktürel gerekçelerle belirli bir coğrafyada değil, sürdürülebilir ve küresel çapta düşünen ve uygulayan ülkelerin çoğalması, birçok konuda yardıma muhtaç kesimlere yapılan yardımların karşılıklı olarak desteklenmesi, daha kısa bir ifadeyle mevcut yükün paylaşılması, insanlığın karşı karşıya kaldığı sorunların azaltılmasında önemli rol oynayacaktır. Bu konuda devletlere düşen sorumluluk tarihin daha önce görmediği derecede ağır. Uluslararası ve ulusal çapta adaleti, eşitliği, yardımlaşmayı, iyi yönetişimi, yatırımları, eğitimi güçlendirmeliyiz. 7. Boğaziçi Zirvesi'nin bu farkındalığın artmasında oynadığı rolü oldukça önemsiyor. Küresel eşitsizliklerin elimine edilmesine katkıda bulunacağına inanıyorum. Bu duygu ve düşüncelerle sizleri bir kez daha gönülden selamlıyor, zirvenin hayırlara vesile olmasını temenni ediyorum. Biz de İbrahim Kalın Bey'e çok çok teşekkür ediyoruz. Şimdi bu giriş mesajı çerçevesinde Batı'nın gelişen ülkelere olan tavrını tartışmak üzere panelistlerimizi sahneye davet ediyorum.
Our panel approach of the West to developing countries is starting now. Thank you to Mr. Egemen Bağış for informing us for Ibrahim Kalın's speech. Now the stage is yours, sir.
You want to do this in English or in Turkish? Let's do it in English. So we'll ask our audience to use their headphones. Well, we'll talk about the Western attitude, if there is any, towards developing countries. I can cite many examples, but just to brainstorm, I'll give you a couple of examples. Yesterday, we heard from His Excellency President Recep Tayyip Erdoğan the frustration of the Turkish society towards European Union. I have always argued, when I was in charge of that portfolio, that Turkey's ambitions to become a member of European Union could easily be listed in the Guinness Book of Records. No country has ever waited as long to join any international organization in the history of mankind. That is one example of a Western attitude. Another example is, again, cited by our president yesterday, the status of Syrian and Iraqi refugees. Turkey is currently hosting approximately 3.5 million neighbors who have found a safe haven, and some countries are announcing with great pride that they might consider taking a few hundred of them as their guests or refugees. That is hurting. Another example is what happened in Crimea. Russia invaded the Crimean part of Ukraine, and they got away with it. And the Western world made a few statements, and then they let it go. It's not a part of the international discussion anymore. Something that is very dear to Turkish participants here is what this country went through on July 15th. When I realized this was an attempt to take down the democratically elected government, I was calling on all my friends in Europe, in US, in the Western world, and asking them to make statements pro-democracy, pro-stability. They did not say no, but they all waited until this great lady we heard from, Hande Fırat, could reach our president and put him on the FaceTime, which was announced, and people poured into the streets by the millions, all of a sudden, Western leaders realized that democracy was being challenged, and they felt the urge to make statements only after President Erdogan made that statement. That by itself is also a statement. And finally, we all follow Western media, and when there is a potential leader that can unite the developing countries, especially the Muslim countries, be that person former Prime Minister of Malaysia, Mr. Mahathir, be that person President of Turkey, Mr. Erdogan, be that person the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Nayef, or the Deputy Crown Prince, Mohammed bin Salman, or any other leader that has the potential to unite 1.5 billion consumers, all of a sudden, Western media attacks them furiously. Why is that? And that's what we will discuss. I will ask each one to be precise. You have maximum of 3 minutes to begin with. 3 minutes to begin with. And then we will open it for a discussion to make this a lively debate. We start with you, sir.
Thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. All praise to Allah, our Creator. Honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed a pleasure to be amongst a very high level and distinguished audience. I was informed that it will be 8 minutes, but 3 minutes will be sufficient, I suppose. I'm an education entrepreneur. My job is to plant the seed of education and water this so that it can awaken aspiration, allowing the people to realize their potential and making their dream reality. I suppose one might say that this is a job destined for a farmer. I must thank, therefore, the Bosphorus Summit Committee for giving me this opportunity to show some of the embryonic problems that I have come across in regards to the approach of the West to developing countries and consummative repercussion by the East. The recent past seen a massive exodus of people moving towards the West. Let me start by a small and a little English humor. To be or not to be? After the EU and the Brexit, and now the US Donald Trump saga, the UKIP leader has been again displaced of his position and most probably looking for a job. As the Middle East have always honored our former prime ministers, you may be wondering he may be a potential person to recruit. I'm talking about Nigel Farage. The United Kingdom has been home to my family for 3 generations, and I'm proud to be Muslim British. In the UK, we have over 2,000 mosques and a tolerant society that has its days. The UK is open for business. The current economic situation is perfect for investment, and you can reassured a good return, inshallah. The pound is weak, and the market is ripe. This is possibly one of the best time to kindle the friendship between Turkey and UK. As you know, our Prime Minister, Theresa May, is going around the world to honor our commitments and contracts. And this is the best time to really leave our differences aside and look towards the future. As a Chancellor of the European University of Business and the President of the British Institute of Technology, we have worked very closely with governments around the world, including our own. We specialize in education, skills, and upskilling. We've also worked with Turkey. In 2013, after a close discussion with the former ambassador to UK, Mr. Onal Sikos, we did a World High-Tech Forum concentrating on Turkish high-tech industry. And I was really fascinated what I saw yesterday about the UAVs are able to lift off now. And that's really amazing to see a developing country with so much links to the Muslim world doing really well. The knowledge economy, I suppose, and the idea of 2023 for Turkey is an interesting one. But it's far beyond my understanding at this moment how that can be achieved. As we bear our thoughts for some of the grievances that we've had recently, which I've got to admit, Turkey did have its power to stop the violence even starting in Syria. And that's my personal view. But I think now that we're in the midst of it, and Turkey is housing over 3 to 5 million refugees, I think the European Union does have its duties. And the saga continues, I know that. But I think the problem we have in the Western world is that we are looking towards a business-oriented relationship with everyone in the world, even in our countries. So I think, don't forget, if you want to deal with us, you've got to be business-oriented. You've got to really have the momentum of knowing how we understand you. If you have no business to offer, then to be honest, we're not really interested in your media. And that's honest truth from my personal position. But honestly, the United Kingdom is a very, very good partner to anybody in the world, because I lived there and I know it very well. But I think the important thing for Turkey now is not to think what happened in July the 15th or the coup, but to think beyond that and look at how it can bring together the people that has given it the mandate for new assurance, new leadership, and not only thinking in the box, but out of the box, inclusive of the Western world, with a Muslim new league. Thank you.
Thank you. So you think there might be a potential opportunity after Brexit for Turkey and UK to reorganize on the edges of Europe and come up with some new strategies?
Absolutely, certainly. And I heard the president yesterday say that there's so many things on the table. But I think you've got to be creative business people. You've got to be creative businessmen. Well, that's what we do in the UK. I'm a private enterprise entrepreneur. I have to deal with the legacy and the bureaucracies. But that's what you have to do as a foreign nation working with us. And I think it's fair common. You would do the same for the UK. If we had a coup in the UK, you most probably will take a little bit of time to understand what's going on. And I think it's got to be fair from your side to give us that reassurance that we were just thinking what's going on, how it's going, and obviously the support will come later. But I think you've got to realize that when you have a strong ally like UK on your side, you should not befriend it.
Well, we'll come back to this, but Zehra, I'm sure you have many ideas to share with us on this. How do you interpret what we are going through and the proposals from our panelists? You mind?
Good afternoon, everybody. Okay, now it works. Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I would like to express that I'm a Turkish one who was the world president of the oldest international association. And I'm going to see the facts on the other side. And I was the Muslim and the Turkish president of one of the international organizations. So I was with the Westerns and I was with the developed countries. So here I would like to share you who are the developed countries and who are the developing countries and who are the rest, and how do the developing countries look to the vice versa. According to Mr. Kofi Annan, former Secretary General of the United Nations, a developed country is one that allows all its citizens to enjoy a free and healthy life in a safe environment. The literate ratio and the level of education of developed countries are quite high. Who are those Western countries? Each of them located in the west of Turkey, not on the east of Turkey. When we turn to west, we can see all those countries. So let me come to the developing countries. They fall behind the developed countries a little bit. Many countries over the world are included in this class, just as Turkey. A lower living standard, not sufficiently developed industrial infrastructure, lower human development index. However, they are the fastest growing countries, as we are. Eastern Europe, South America, Mexico, Turkic republics, South Asia, and Balkan countries, and Turkey are all those countries. Why do these countries seem interesting? Because their human sources are quite well, as we do have in Turkey as a Turkish people. They have appetite for consumption. They promise about the future. Countries with rich cultural mosaic, and some of them are in a strategical geographical location. Western starts to realize the dormant cultural structures of them. These features are advantage. They do not have any worldwide brands. They are just trying to create new brands. They are not good at sports, and they collect medals in Olympics, since the success in sport goes parallel with the development. However, from time to time, the sudden and surprising achievements in literature, cinema, science, and sports require acclamation. Both the request of the capital and the diversity put these countries in attracting countries. The West plays regard to these countries despite not belonging to its own class. It builds foundation to discuss and join forces. Sorry. It may build partnership in cultural collaborations such as international conference, exhibition, investment, and etc. And also there would be the undeveloped countries as well. The income per capita are in a lower and hunger threshold. There exists wars in those countries, and the women's rights are not even mentioned. There is also pressure, and the human rights are not even in question. Their economies are miserable. The West is not willing about making cultural and trade collaborations with those countries. They prefer developing countries. The West does not want a country as strong as itself. However, it does not like the countries without consumption potential. The West shows more interest to the developing countries. Do we expect empathy from them? Do we expect it? In communication, we do say that the perception of counterparty counts, not the words of us. Since we want the counterparty to understand us, then we should build communication according to it. We should show empathy. The West is expected to show empathy and listen to the rest of the world in terms of economic, political, and cultural collaboration, as we know. As this communication game is played face-to-face and based on self-interest relationship, it may be considered as chess. The main purpose is to minimize the possibility of making mistakes and not to show deficits. The West paying attention and showing empathy. For this self-interest collaboration, they should listen more carefully and show more empathy. Compared to 40 years ago, the West shows more effort about it today. As the cultural level of Western people increases, they can negotiate with Turkey by positioning the country in a different level. Don't we encounter with undesired situations? Yes, we do. But we do not encounter with the questions arising from the lack of information.